My name's Gabriella and welcome to my channel where the theme is generally creativity. And I'm unsure whether it's out or not yet, but I am starting a series to figure out what exactly that means. And also document my life as a struggling actress who has just finished drama school and is now trying to figure out what to do and how to achieve all of my life goals. If that sounds interesting to you, if you're in the same position, in the same field, or just in life generally, trying to figure out what to do and how to get through the mess it can be sometimes, go check it out and maybe we can find inspiration in each other. In the meantime though, I'm back to unboxing my book subscription boxes. Normally, I wait until both have arrived. However, the November boxes have been sent out so late for both Illumicrate and Fairyloot, so I've just decided a Illumicrate box turned up this morning, so we're unboxing it. And when the Fairyloot one comes, we'll unbox that and I will mash them together. Let's dig in. The theme, some kind of monster. Do I try figure things out on their own first? Let's see. Well, this is promising. It doesn't label it, just says made in China. Something fabricy, florally, naturey. What is this? Is it a blanket? A tablecloth? It does scarf. Scarf. It is a scarf with like birds. And it actually feels quite nice. I don't quite know how to describe the material, but it does feel quite nice. I'm not sure what it's inspired by though, or if it's a more neutral item. Let's go through with the items and then identify later. Now this is a tea tin. Now my initial thought was zodiac because there's lots of animals around the top and on the sides, but there's lots of wolves and like a mermaid and a winged lion. And I've discovered on the bottom there is a quote, "You're a hero and I'm a monster," she whispered. "There's only one way that story ever ends," which is a quote by Vanessa Len, which I think was from Only a Monster, which I have, and I got in my January Fairyloot box, but I think Illumicrate also did, but I wasn't subscribed at that time, which would make sense because there was a mermaid symbol for one of them. I think these are the symbols of all the houses. I like the theme. It feels Christmassy, like green and gold. I don't know, it just feels Christmassy to me. A tree decorated with tinsel kind of thing. So then we have a tote bag inspired by the Scholomance, which I love the Scholomance. The colours make me think of like Wicked or something. This feels like quite a bit of a contrast to the fabric of it, like it's a very heavy image on the front. I'm worried it's going to be the type of material that if you like fold it or crease it too much, it's going to start cracking and coming off. And I fold my tote bags quite a lot, so I'm worried about how long the image is going to last. The image doesn't feel incredibly cohesive, I guess. It just feels like a lot of random symbols kind of shoved together. But, I mean, I like it. Then we have, oh, I think this is like a weapon replica. Blue and orange are not necessarily colours I always thought went really well together, but it's really cute. I feel like they said in the last month saying what this was inspired by, and I can't remember, so we're gonna look at that in a minute. And then this is the papercraft kit based on Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo, which I have not read yet. I've read all the Grishaverse stuff, but not this yet, so I don't know what this is referring to, but it does make me want to read it more. But yes, this is from last month's box. It's a nice image. I like the colours. Oh, it says Into the Borderlands. I'm sure I'll have fun doing it at some point. And then, oh, I knew this was going to be it. The Luminaries? I can't speak. This is gorgeous. I think the regular edition is going to be like with green highlights, which I do prefer green to orange, but this is gorgeous. Yeah, I knew this was going to be coming. And oh, I like this. Oh, this is stunning. Oh, the sprayed edges continue all the way around. Nightmare Compendium. The Comprehensive Guide to Hemlock Falls Nightmares. On the inside, we have this artwork, which is gorgeous, and then signed as well. And we have a map. Oh, I love maps. Oh, that's sad. There's a typo on the dust jacket on the inside already. There's no E in Hemlock Falls. Oh no. But this is gorgeous, and I'm excited to read this one as well. I feel like I've seen it talked about a lot. And I think this is the first... Is this the first official? No, it's not the first Daphne Press one. Maybe the first one since Daphne Press has set up its own specific thing. And this box, I believe, I can't remember what year, but it's an anniversary for Illumicrate. Let's read the leaflet and see if it tells me. More information, please. Oh! I I do know what this is. This is Ascalon replica from Prior of the Orange Tree, which I have read. I obviously need to reread it. It's been a while. I just really love the little like jewel encrusted stuff on the blade. It's gorgeous, and this makes sense now. This has just added a lot more to this for me. Okay, and this is, oh, Frozen Wilderness Scarf, vaguely inspired by the Winter Night trilogy, which I really enjoy the Winter Night trilogy. That's why there's the little birds on it. The Nightingale, I assume, I don't know. Obviously the tote bag was Skullman's, and I was right that this is only Monster. Yes, it's the 7th anniversary box, and The Luminaries is the first Daphne Press title. I think they've been using Daphne Press to print their exclusive editions, but now they're turning it into regular printing. Anyway, so this is a bit of a special box for them. I would say I've fairly enjoyed it. I'll probably use the scarf. I'm worried about the longevity of the tote bag. Really enjoying the jeweled dagger, and of course the book is gorgeous, so can't wait to get around to reading that. I think just an all-round enjoyable box. I don't think I've necessarily been blown away by anything. And as the spoiler for next month, the December book is a standalone adult science fiction book that involves a sentient spaceship, which inspires terror into me, because I think the worst book I've ever read, and I think possibly the only book I've ever given a 1-star rating to, involved a sentient spaceship, and it was an adult sci-fi, and I hated it. I'm sure this is going to be much better, but I'm just negative associations with that terminology. And then the featured fandoms are The Song of Achilles, The Jasmine Throne, an officially licensed Crescent City item, and a multi-fandom item perfect for the new year. The Song of Achilles item is going to be a mug. Looking forward to all of those. I need to read Crescent City. Oh, I need to read it so bad. Looking forward to that. They're saying an item perfect for the new year. Will the box arrive for the new year? We shall see. Now I'm going to go wait for the Fairyloot one to arrive, but for you it will be a matter of seconds, so enjoy. It's arrived. We are a couple of days later. I think this actually arrived the day after I filmed that last bit, but I was away for the weekend, so this is getting filmed a couple of days later. Let's see what we have for Fairyloot for November. I can see a mug already. Can't see the spoiler card, so we're gonna see if we can guess the fandoms off the bat, because it kind of worked for Illumicrate. Okay, there's like some castle stuff. There's some snake motifs. It's not quite central in the middle. It says on the bottom, Kingdom of the Wicked mug. Yes, so I haven't read Kingdom of the Wicked. The colour scheme goes with the book, I think. I mean, I like this. It's cute. It would be cuter if I knew who the people were. And it's going to annoy me that the image on the inside isn't in the centre at the bottom. But yeah, it's pretty. I like the little details. Oh, we have a pin, a grimoire pin. I think this might be just a fandom neutral item. My hands are so shaky, but that's really cute. I like that. Just like a little spells book with some stars and moon and a little eye on it, and that's really cute. I'm gonna add that to my collection, which is coincidentally on a like pin banner, which Fairyloot also gave us 1 month. I really like that they have provided items that complement each other. I didn't have a use for the pins before because I don't really wear pins on jackets or things, so I like that they went, oh, this is an item we do quite regularly, let's give everyone a way of using it. And then I think this is a replica. Oh, S&D is definitely, I'm assuming, standing for Serpent and Dove. This is pretty. Oh, there's a little jewel here. I think it's a shame there's no other colours, because on its own, this material, it looks really nice. It just doesn't look or feel particularly high quality, whereas when they have other things on them and splashes of colours or like more like enamel, like colour things on them, I think it's enamel, I don't know. Even though it's probably not any higher quality, like generally it looks it. Although this is meant to be used as a letter opener. I don't know what letters people are opening that has like a squiggly open on it. I don't know that it could actually be used as a letter opener, which probably should have been my first thought about this. And not that I'm sad that there isn't any colour on it. And there's a single gem, but like I almost missed it because it's the same colour. I like it. I always enjoy the weapon replicas. I display them, I don't functionally use them, so it makes no difference to me. It's a reading journal. Is it just the same forever? Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Yeah, it's this Oh. Don't know if you can see how much of a bend is in this. I can lay it flat. It's a cute design. It's like all naturey, flowery, and there's a bee in the middle, and then you've got the moons, and well, there's moons on the front too, but the moons are more visible on the back, and mushrooms and things. And then inside each page is, oh, I don't know if it's been damaged or something. Like the pages don't open and sort of crumple. I don't know if it's not very well bound or if it's because it was bent out of shape in transit, but the pages don't turn very well and bubble a lot. Anyway, it is really cute on the inside. Put the title, author, genre, release date, the date you read it, what format you read it in, so regular book, ebook or audiobook. You've got big space for notes, rating, describe this book in 5 words, and a page count. I don't know which one I'm going to use because I have now this one and I also have my Illumicrate one. The Illumicrate one's a bit more comprehensive. It has more features. It doesn't just have individual pages for each book, but also this one is sprayed edges, which is really cool. Yeah, it's a nice splash of colour. Then obviously we have the tarot cards. I have several options in my head as to who these people could be. I'm going to read the spoiler card first, because the theme is the witching hour. Tarot card of the month, yes, Luli as the star and Mason as the tower card from the Stardust Thief, which is staring at me as I'm filming this. It's on my display shelf. I thought it was them, but there were other options. Let's put all this down. Get to book of the month, all black sprayed edges. We'll come back to the fairy scoop thing in a minute. Oh, I love this art for the author note. And then ombre. I saw the black at the bottom to start with, but it's ombre. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I like that, and it really matches the cover. That was close. I thought for a minute that the signature wasn't actually on the sticker, because I thought for a minute that the sticker was stuck to the inside thing. Some of the edges on this peeled up. It was a little bit stuck. Luckily it's come off without ripping away any of the image. It sounds really interesting. Oh, okay. Dust jacket is slightly damaged at the top. Lovely. Reversible dust jacket though. That's cool. It's really pretty design. We just have foiling on the front cover, which is a little portrait style. I think I've said before, not as big a fan of like people on the cover. Still not a massive fan, but I prefer that at least it looks like a portrait because I think that's cool. Like they've got the framing of it like a portrait. So as far as people on the cover goes, this is possibly one of my favourites so far. End paper artwork. And more end paper artwork. And then put that back in there. I feel like I might need to start actually sticking in the signatures. I mean, I'm really indecisive about where they should go because otherwise I'm just going to lose them, aren't I? And the whole point is that it's the signature for the book. Anyway, and then finally we have the fairy scoop thing with the questions for the author. Preview for December, where the theme will be Come One, Come All. Items inspired by Caraval and the Night Circus, which I've read and I love both of them. And they'll have the next foiled bookmarks from their mythology collection, which I love the foiled bookmarks. And then fandom neutral bookends and a book sleeve, which are both items I really love and use, and I'm really excited based on the artwork for it. So for this month, Witching Hour, the book sounds really good. I'm not so much an orange person, but it really complements the cover. This is really pretty. I enjoy it. I find it very amusing that it's not functional as a letter opener. And then we have the pin, which I don't know, I think might be my favourite object out of the box this month. And I don't really do much with pins. It's just cute and it feels like the one with the best execution. And the mug, which is lovely. It's just going to annoy me forever that the image inside is not dot on the centre, but you know, I'm only going to be looking in it when I'm using it, and if I'm using it and there's stuff in it, then I'm not going to see it, so I'm only ever going to see it for like split seconds, like just before I pour stuff into it. It's fine. I'd say this has been a nice month's worth of stuff. If I seem like I'm being a bit more critical than normal, I think it's because I don't know if I've had anything from them in the past few months where everything has been in perfect condition. And yes, that's frustrating on its own, but it's also frustrating because none of it is bad enough that it needs to be replaced. But it's just a lot of really small things. Like this has come slightly bent. I don't know how well it's showing up on camera, but there's a curve to it and there's some slight marks on it. And when you open it, first few pages here have like some marks on and it doesn't open very well. And I don't know if that's just from it being bent out of shape, and I don't know if it was bent out of shape before it was packaged or in transit. Again, very minimal, but along here on the dust jacket, just the top edge is slightly damaged. I think the last box had a couple of items that were in a similar situation. And then I got The Ballad of Never After, which I was really excited about. And the packaging was just a sleeve. It wasn't a box holding it in place, and the sleeve arrived. Not that the sleeve had been squashed down, but the sleeve was squashing the book, and you can see I've sort of straightened them out a bit, but the corners were bent in, and it's not as bad on the bottom, but the corners were bent in. There's some slight marks on the bottom, like you can see, where it arrived, like that. And that's the smallest thing, but it's just annoying that stuff like that keeps happening. It's just frustrating that the quality seems to have slipped a bit, and I'm almost at the point where I think I'm going to start compiling lists and photographic evidence of all of these things. It just feels like the quality is suddenly dropping. It's not things where the products aren't good quality themselves. It all seems to be damage that's happened afterwards, in transit, and usually directly because of how they've packaged it, or something that's clearly happened while it's been packaged, or delivery between manufacturer and getting to the place for packaging. Just a bit frustrating. And I also completely missed the bookmark, which matches the main art print of the month, so that's there too. Overall though, I still really enjoy the boxes. I love what they do with them. I love the item choices. Like, on the whole, I think all their ideas and the execution of the actual ideas are generally really good, which is upsetting because otherwise they're fantastic. Hopefully they pick up. We shall see in December if that happens, so keep an eye out for that video if you want to see how they're doing, how I'm doing in reaction and response to that. And this is me 3 weeks later because I still haven't edited this video, and my December Illumicrate and Fairyloot boxes have turned up now, so I figured let's just put it all into one video together, wrap up the year nicely, and we're going to get our answers as to whether the boxes have improved very quickly. I have already opened them because Christmas was really hectic and I don't have much self-restraint. First up, Illumicrate. Now, this one arrived quite a bit before Fairyloot, so I can't actually quite remember everything that came in it, so you're gonna get a bit of authentic reaction anyway. So, oh, okay, yes, I remember some of this already. Starting with a mug. You'd think I've already opened it. I would have left it all out of packaging. No, I did not. So you get to see the packaging too. This is called Paths of Fate. Inspired by Song of Achilles. I'm guessing one of those is Achilles. I think it said in the spoiler card like who the characters were. And there's nothing on the inside, so I don't need to worry about things being scented. I like this. Then we had this lovely little jewellery box. And I really enjoy it doesn't just have the ring slots and the little pouches, but it also has hooks up here with a little bit that you can hang necklaces on without them getting tangled, because tangled necklaces is one of the banes of my existence. And it's Griffin Antiques, and it has a little moon. I think it's Crescent City inspired, I think is what it said on the leaflet. I haven't read Crescent City yet. I have ordered the Fairyloot special editions, so hopefully they'll arrive soonish and I can finally read it. I think that's what this was. We'll find out in a second. Then we had this gorgeous pin set inspired by the Jasmine's Throne, a pin chain set, which, yeah, they're just linked. I think they are gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And then the last item is this calendar, and it just has some really lovely artwork in it. Bridgerton, I've recognised Akatar, Bridgerton. And the way it works is you open it like this, and then it stays up and you can just flip it over. The spoiler card, Fated Lovers mug, Achilles and Patroclus? Strike a bargain calendar. Favourite couple to ultimately better together. Wait. It says an undated monthly calendar, but it's very definitely dated. And it's got the right, like, it was Sunday the 1st. So I'm confused what it means by undated. I don't know. I was right, this is House of Earth and Blood. Which is the first one. It is the first one. Because Earth and Blood is the red one, and then the blue one, Sky and Breath, is the second one. Then, the book of the month, The Red Scholar's Wake, which has ombre sprayed edges. I love the colours. We've got a signed sticker insert, which isn't just blank for once, it's got a design on it, which is really nice. End paper artwork number 1. Number 2. And then there's foils, not on the back, but just the front. Just a little meteor spaceship kind of design. It's cute. I like the simplicity. Now, I've had some good experiences and some bad experiences with sci-fi space stuff. So I'm intrigued to see which end this falls on. As it's an Illumicrate book, I'm hoping it's going to be a good one. And the book's really pretty. I love the colours for the ombre edges. It's weird, I like space themes. I think space and stars are very pretty. I love the aesthetic. Spaceships, iffy. It depends how it lands. We'll see. But overall, I've really enjoyed this box. Obviously on the back we have the January theme, which is Journey's End. Reading the blurb, I think I know what book it is, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called. I looked at it literally earlier today because I was trying to see what books were being released in January, and I think it's a January release. The fandoms will be Lord of the Rings, very excited for, City of Brass, The Book Eaters, which will be intriguing, An Enchantment of Ravens, and Saga. So that's 5 fandoms. Just more items than usual. Interesting. Oh, the Book Eaters item is going to be a bag. But yes, in general, I've really enjoyed this box. It's been a good one to end the year on. I'm probably least keen on the calendar just because I have a lot of diaries, journals. I don't really have a use for a calendar. I don't really have room for it to have a permanent spot on my desk. I mean, I could put it in my room somewhere. I could put it somewhere else. It doesn't have to be on my desk, I guess. The artwork's still gorgeous. It's still a really nice item. The jewellery box and pins. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. I have a lot of mugs now from Illumicrate and Fairyloot, and so there is a part of me that's going, I don't need this many mugs. However, when I eventually manage to move out, I'm not going to need to buy any mugs, ever. I'm just thinking about how this is very practical, and while I'm not getting the most use from it now, in the future, I'm going to be so glad I have all of these. And I really like the cover and sprayed edges of this, and very intrigued to see. I'm hoping this will make me less scared of sci-fi spaceship stuff in the future. All in all, I thoroughly enjoyed the December Illumicrate box. It was a really great one to end the year on. The items were all gorgeous. Pretty much all very practical ones as well. It's nice to have the odd decorative item, but if you're getting decorative items in every single box, they build up and then it just becomes a question of storage and not really being able to appreciate them. Whereas when they're practical items, it's so much easier to find a use for them. And then it just puts a bit of everyday bookish magic into your life when you're using all of these things. So a really good way to end the year. Now, onto the Fairyloot box, which I was absolutely terrified about. Not gonna lie, because earlier this same video you will have seen I have been getting very fed up with the amount of items and books that I've been getting from Fairyloot for a good few months that have arrived damaged in some way, and it's just been ruining my overall experience. So, we have it here. And I'm pleased to report the items this month have arrived in perfect condition, which is a really nice way to end the year. So first off, we have these lovely bookends, circus ones, like circus with the merry-go-round horse, because the theme was circus. Wait, did I say what the Illumicrate theme was? Rewind. The Illumicrate theme for December was Better Together, which is why the calendar was all the couples. I still don't understand why it was called the Striker Bargain calendar, but that's why it was couples, because they're all better together. Anyway, the Fairyloot theme was Come One, Come All, and these are just like Carousel Circus. They're not a fandom, they're just Carousel Circus themed. I like colourful, but also black goes with everything, so that's really useful to have. And even though it's not Night Circus themed, it reminds me of Night Circus. And speaking of the Night Circus, the next item is a face towel. Came with a nice little ribbon around it. It's just a little face towel like this. I was having a discussion about hotel towels and dressing gowns with my family last night, so maybe that's why I'm thinking about it. Maybe just because it's white. This is then making me feel like if the Night Circus had a hotel, these would be the face towels that would be provided for staying there. Although I have just noticed it hasn't quite come in perfect condition, because there's this plastic stuff underneath. It's been embroidered onto the towel. Damn it. There had to be something, didn't there? I mean, this is a very easy fix. I guess you could say it's still slightly in the packaging. I will sort that later. It's just annoying. Then we have a book sleeve. I love their book sleeves. Do they do 2 a year? Because this is my 13th Fairyloot box, and this is my 3rd book sleeve, and I can't remember whether I got a book sleeve in the first one or not. I think I got a book sleeve in the first one. So that means they do one every 6 months, which I think is a good ratio because they're really useful, but you don't necessarily need masses of them. But this is lovely, Caraval inspired, with the quote, "Every person has the power to change their fate if they are brave enough to fight for what they desire more than anything." Which, yeah, cute. I like how there's a big emblem on the front, and then it's sort of like the repeated motifs. It's not all just like one image. It's almost like wrapping paper, circusy wrapping paper. I don't know, I like it. This is the artwork on the spoiler card with the matching bookmark. We have some more of my favourites, the foil mythology bookmarks. I love them so much. Aphrodite and Ares. And I love Greek mythology, so I love that we've gotten more of the Greek gods. And then the tarot cards are Lay and Ren from Girls of Paper and Fire, which I haven't read, but as always, gorgeous artwork. We then have the author note with artwork and the fairy scoop with the author interview. And spoilers for next month, but we'll come back to that at the end. Last, but by no means least, we have Cruel Illusions. Hello, stenciled edges. And foiling on the actual hardcover itself, we have artwork and more artwork. And then again, the foiling isn't on the back, it's only on the side. Again, less of a fan of people, but it's not too overcrowded. You can very easily see what it is. If it has to be a person, they've done it well. They've done it tastefully this time. And it's described as Caraval meets Buffy the Vampire Slayer, so I'm very intrigued. There's a quote from Stephanie Garber on the front. There is an ever so slight mark down here, but you can't really see it unless you look for it properly. So I guess in reflection, it hasn't arrived in perfect condition, but in comparison, it feels like this box has been pretty much perfect condition, which is really nice. I've really enjoyed all the items and the book. Very intrigued to read. Mythology bookmarks, always some of my favourites. Book sleeve again, so useful. Feels like I'm unwrapping a book. And then, theme for next month, January, is Hidden Worlds. There'll be items inspired by The Stardust Thief. Very excited about that. We Hunt the Flame, the featured book, and a fandom neutral item, which will be the start of a new collectible, a secret hollowed out book, which apparently they used to do a few years ago, and it'll be the start of a new set, which I'm very excited about. Oh, and the page that it's signed on is lovely. I don't know if this is an exclusive page they've added for this edition, I think it is, but I really like the printing of the cards on the inside. I think it's really cute and a really cool detail to have. So, all in all, very happy with December's Fairyloot box too. It has lifted my spirits. It's made me have more faith in Fairyloot. I'm still waiting for, like, you know, if next month's box turns up and there's any issues, or any of the special editions I've ordered turn up and there's any issues. It hasn't made all the apprehensions completely go away, but it's done some heavy lifting with regards to having more faith in them, and makes me excited for next month's box. And it's just a really nice way to end the year, I think. Both these boxes have been really good, and after the November ones, I think they were exactly what I needed. This is me editing, jumping back in with some bad news. I've been really behind on reading all of the books from these boxes. I've only just gotten to the October book from Fairyloot. I didn't realise until I was basically on the pages. There's 4 pages which have all been ripped in half, and this one on the bottom was also then bent like this. I thought it had been ripped and then somehow resealed into the book, and then I realised I could pull it out. How has this happened? I can understand that it could have been easily missed, because I missed it when I first got it. I filmed unboxing it, I just never edited it, and I'm pretty sure I would have flicked through, and it was easy to miss, because when you flick through, it's easy to miss. You can do that and not really see it. So I understand how someone could have missed it in quality control. But how did it happen in the first place? Essentially, I'm writing that complaint email. I'm mainly going to focus on this, but I am going to mention all of the other smaller issues. We'll see what happens. I should have a response by the time next month's unboxing's done, so we'll see what happens and I'll let you know. I'm excited to see what the new year brings, because sometimes there's some small shake-ups from year to year. Illumicrate did a survey a month or 2 ago, which I filled out as well, so I'm going to be doubly interested to see if anything I put in on that survey is like been taken into account. I know they've already announced a special edition box, not just the book itself, but like the book with items inspired by that book as a special edition, like one-off. The first book in the Winter Night trilogy, The Bear and the Nightingale, which I am so excited for. And I know that was something they definitely had a question about on their survey, so I assume that might be something that's come from that. But it would be interesting to see if anything else has. Either way, I hope you've enjoyed seeing what's been in the boxes these past few months. As always, I'd love to know what your thoughts are on all of the items, the books, if you've read any of the books, especially if you get any of them yourself and have them in front of you to actually see in real life. Do you also have a stance on like practical versus like decorative items? Let me know in the comments, and I'll hopefully see you in, well, it's going to be the new year by the time this video is out. So I'll hopefully see you more this year for more of these unboxings, and hopefully a lot of other content too, finally. I hope you've had a lovely new year, and I shall see you very soon. Bye!